Ba, 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 ba. This episode of Getting Tabled is brought to you by Valhalla Hobby. Use code TABLE to get 5% off any order over $100, one use only. Big shout out and thank you to our Patreons who support us. Consider supporting us for $2 a month. Get early access and access to the live recordings.
Brought to you by some guys on the internet.
This is Getting Tabled.
With your hosts, Jason the Bruce,
You guy!
George the Yang,
I hope you're all entertained by my inaptitude.
Jason aka Major Socks.
We've been doing this and talking about various stuff. One of the stuff.
Now sit back, relax, and get tabled.
Hello, future people, and welcome to episode 164 of the podcast, Getting Tabled episode thing with your host, Jason the Bruce.
The thing, the recording episode thing. Yeah, I love that. Yes, I am here. Major Socks is not here because he quite literally turned around to us this morning and said, I can't be bothered, you guys can go to hell. No, that's not true. If anything, we actually forced him not to record this morning or this evening.
I was going to say, I was pretty blunt in telling him not to show up.
We both were. Real life is quite intense for Socks at the moment.
Yes, so yeah. And ignore me as I have a minor stroke trying to talk there, so yeah. Bruce, how you been doing, man?
It's been busy. I'm good, though. I'm good. What about yourself?
Also busy.
Please tell me you're not actually having a minor stroke.
Well, I've been noticing like I've been declining more and more the worse my sleep has been getting. So hopefully Monday I can get that alleviated and see if I can return to fully functioning.
Yes, for those of you that don't know, George is officially becoming a RoboCop. He's getting his first implants done.
No, member of the Mechanicum.
I know, but RoboCop's cooler. Also, I don't think RoboCop had a sleep apnea machine.
Yeah, well, the thing is too is RoboCop like literally died. They brought him back to life and then made him go back to work.
Yeah,
you know, at least the Mechanicum. It's like they know they're slaves to the Omnissiah. They're okay with it. So
yeah, true. All right. Well, shall we, start discussing, things and stuff?
Newly received or noteworthy information, especially about recent or important events.
And we're starting with some Games Workshop. I figured let's actually do Games Workshop to begin with. And not just because they only have one thing that I thought was interesting, and because everybody else seems to have more stuff that's interesting. At the time of recording, they haven't done their big preview yet. Obviously, it will happen, but I could double check, but I'm pretty sure it's not out yet. But these are some really cool insect bug looking things. I really like that. They are insanely creepy in the way that 40k should be. I mean, the Ash Wastes guy is cool too, but I want to look at the insect bugs. I like them.
They look so good because they look like just bugs.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing fancy about them. There's nothing extra about them. It's just a giant bug, and it looks good because like Tyranids, they have all this like, the extra like little spiny things on their back, or this is just a bug that's giant. Like,
I mean, bugs look alien already. Like if you get a fly, if you made the fly look giant, it would look alien. Because it's just...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's like deep sea creatures. They look alien enough already. You don't need to do much to them.
Absolutely, yeah. So, I like it in this case, less is definitely more.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And like, I do actually quite like the Ash Wastes guy, or the Ashwing Hellamite. And his little container of death. That's what I'm going to call it anyway. Apparently, it's a token for a lure, so that must be how he wants to find the bugs. There's something wrong with this Hellamite, obviously. Because if I had bugs that were bigger than I was, I would not be wanting to lure them towards me.
Big game hunter.
I
They
guess
did the
so.
same thing.
That's true. That is true. Oh, these are also described as smaller and less docile than dustbacks. So they're not as aggressive as the other ones we've seen.
He's trying to make pets.
Yep.
He's gonna domesticate it.
Oh, that's cute. I will have one very quick. Yeah, no, so they haven't actually done their preview yet, and that's fine. We do have some other things that are being previewed, though. GCT have shown off their new themed warband, which is called Family. And this is a return to the Awoken, which is the arachnophobic faction. Or the arachnophobe faction. No. Because arachnophobes are the people that...
phobic.
Yes. Yeah.
Arachnophiles?
Arachnophile? Yeah, that makes sense. It kind of reminds me of... Have you seen The Hills Have Eyes?
No, I have not.
It's the almost stereotypical I live in the middle of nowhere USA and I'm all inbred and we're all mutant waste looking things. But these are spider themed. I actually quite like them, to be honest. I'm not scared of spiders, though.
Yeah, phobia is against, file is for. So these are arachnophiles.
Yeah. The artwork on the front of the box with the mixture between skin and like spidery appendage is quite nicely done. I don't imagine painting that would be very easy, though.
It looks rather disgusting.
Yep.
I will say this, though. The artwork on the box does no justice to the minis.
Oh, no, not at all.
Like, when you actually look at the minis, like these are a little disgusting. Like, it's a little difficult to look at. I'm not going to lie. Like, it's...
In the best way possible.
There's other things that are probably more graphic that I'd rather look at than those.
I know that there's a name for the giant katana that they're using. I know it's not a katana. I just can't think what it's called right now. And I love the fact that the giant spider monsters are the ones that are using them. George is now going to look it up because I've mentioned it and it's going to annoy him if he doesn't know what the answer is.
Adachi?
Yes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right.
No, I just looked it up. It's Adachi. Then you have Katana, then Nodachi, which is the smaller.
All right. Up next, we have something that is every arachnophile's fear. It's a giant spider. And I mean that quite literally. This is a giant spider. This is sitting on... Is it a 60mm base? It's sitting on a 60mm base. This is a huge model. This is a giant spider. So that's a decent size base. So this is going to be... This is going to be a chunk of resin you could skull somebody with.
Hurt someone with. Yeah, I want to say that's the same size of base as what's his face. I just built him. Logan Grimdar's face. Like, look, his new mini sits on a 60mm, so that's a big freaking spider.
It's huge. Looking through the description, it doesn't actually say what this model is being made from. I am going to assume that it's resin, because I don't see them doing a metal for this large. But I don't actually know.
I thought they were getting away from metals.
Oh, they're still releasing stuff in metals.
Okay.
I had thought that at one point because there was the shortage, but it seems to be okay again, so I don't know. And then finally, it is worth noting, there is a lot more from GCT that I'm showing off here. I've picked and chosen the things that I thought looked the coolest because some of them were released previously as the preview and now this is the general release. I will show off the pre-order page in a moment. But this is Kuna of Lies and Darkness. See, the name Kuna just sounds quite nice by itself, but of Lies and Darkness makes it just perfectly creepy.
No, she's still trustworthy.
Oh, totally. She's definitely trustworthy.
But
I don't know why you wouldn't believe her.
That's just mislabeling of society because she has like spider legs and extra eyeballs on her face.
Exactly. And you should be the one that goes to her and shakes her hand, George.
No, because she needs a manicure first before I do that.
I quite like
Did you
in
see
the
those
artwork
nails?
on.
No.
Sorry.
I said, did you see those nails? Absolutely not.
On the artwork on the card, it looks like she's actually an elderly lady as well, which is nice because you don't really see that much in miniatures. I mean, elderly men you see quite a lot, but not so much elderly women as much. I'm not saying you don't see them, just not as frequently.
Yeah, it also has to do with like in this case, like the Spider Faction. It's just like I feel like seeing an elderly woman because let's be honest, the Black Widow spider, right? The woman, the female is the one you got to watch out for, not the dude. The dude's chill.
Yeah,
the woman, no. So like insect based, absolutely. That's a place where you're gonna see the older female characters because, praying mantis stuff like that. So yeah.
In the case of these miniatures, this is another one. This is on a large base, so this is a 50mm base. It's not quite as big as the other one, but I kind of wish we were getting. All of the GCT previews are from like the best angle, but I kind of wish we got to see the reverse. I'd love, with this miniature in particular, I'd love to see the rear of this to actually see what the rest of the spider looks like. I can guess, but I'd like to see it.
Does she have a great big old abdomen sticking out the back of that kimono there, or what?
It certainly looks like she does. Because there is a rounded thing towards the back. Yeah. But I want to know. I want to know if it's like a solid one, or if she's like a big hairy huntsman looking thing, or.
Yeah.
By the look of it, I would guess that it's a smooth carapace. Is it a carapace? No, carapace is something else. I don't know.
Exoskeleton, like is the generalization for the skin. As out of all these, I hate them all.
You're welcome. If you click on...
I don't have the issue like you do with wasps, sir, but
No, that's fair.
I let spiders live in my house. I don't have an issue with them, but I just... No, not this... No.
I just don't like them on me.
To be fair, though, if I lived in Australia, I wouldn't let the spiders there live in my house, though, so...
To be fair, the spiders that live in your houses here are usually not poisonous. Like huntsmans, which is the ones that everybody's scared of, are completely harmless. I mean, they'll bite you, but they can't do much.
Well, they look horrifying. Actually, we have it's the same species that you see in the Middle East, but it's called a camel spider, but it has pinchers as well. We actually have those here. Found one outside the door, and they use a neurotoxin, so you do have to watch out for those. But watching them go after mosquitoes is fun.
Now that we are talking about spiders and not creeping out our entire audience at all, you know the dinner plate size ones that you see memed all the time, and the size of your house. Like, I know I'm stating the obvious here, but there are people in your country that believe that those pictures are real. They're not. The actual spider that you see in most of the dinner plate ones is from Africa, for starters. You can get larger spiders here, but not to the point that you get memed. Anyway.
Did you know there's a 40k spider in Australia?
Yes. It was named after Horus, I think, wasn't it?
Abaddon.
That's right. We talked about it when it got announced.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think we did, yeah. Anyways, on to...
Hang on. If you click on New and Special... you get an idea of everything that's being released this week, because there's a couple there that I didn't look at. Okay. I just kind of showing it on the screen for those.
Like them.
And if you click on the Awoken, you get an idea of everything for the faction. I think it's a fairly well fleshed out faction at this point. It's kind of nice to see.
Ooh. Oh my god, Bruce, how did we not look at Lord Toad?
Lord Toad.
He's in the new release. How did we not look at him?
Oh, I missed this. Oh, this is great. Oh, that is amazing. He's going to hit you up the side of your head with your oar. He's totally from Carnivale, but he's a frog. Or a toad. Oh, that is awesome. I'm so glad you questioned me about that. I didn't see that.
Yeah, his name is Lord Toad, so I'm going to assume he's a toad.
He has an ability called Lick the Frog. Oh, I love this. And he works with any faction. I'm pretty sure that's every faction in the game. Oh, I love this guy so much. Oh, I want this guy now.
He's a celestial. Where do you see that he works with any faction?
On the card.
Yep.
The second page of the card, which is the back, it has all of the faction logos up the top.
Oh, sure enough. I see that. Okay.
Speaking of which, one of those is a symbol I don't recognize. I'm going to try and zoom in.
Did they just do a spoiler without actually doing a spoiler?
If anything, it would be a tease. I don't recognize that faction sign.
Which one is it?
The second last one is all golden and stuff. I don't recognize it. Let me go back to the storefront. I might just be wrong. That's a new faction. I have discovered something.
No, I discovered it because I'm the one that pointed out you didn't put it on the run sheet and said, "Hey, we have to look at Lord Toad."
So, for those that are looking at the video edition, for those that are just listening, on the GCT website, you can find all of the links to all of the stories that we're discussing at gettingtabled.com. They will always be there for the most recent episode. You can preview the card for Lord Toad. And on the back, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 logos. So you've got all of the logos there. You've got everything. The very last one is the Savage Wave, but the one before that is a logo that I have never seen before. It's a solid gold logo with dragon design, I want to say, over it. It's kind of hard to see because it is small. But that is a faction that does not show up on the store. Unless it's for a specific... It might...
Well, it does label him as a celestial. Is that a new thing, or...?
I'm fairly certain that this is a faction that we haven't seen yet.
Okay.
We're just having a look at one of the... So I think what we've had here is a deliberate tease of something that's coming. It's going to be interesting to see where that goes.
I just went to the store and that, I see all the clan names and I don't see that logo.
That's my point. Yeah.
Oh, so you've already done what I just discovered. Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. All of the other ones already exist there. We've seen all of the other ones before. So, time to move on. So, we had a couple of previews that happened while I was sleeping from Corvus Belli. I'm going to start with the Infinity ones. There's a 15-minute video for Infinity and another 15-minute one for Warcrow. The first big thing that got... actually, before I get into the reveals... Rather than it being a video that they've recorded in the studio like they have previous years, this is a video that they have filmed on their way to the United States. They also call the United States the best country in the world at one point. Now, obviously, I will disagree with that. But definitely not sucking up to the US audience at Gen Con whatsoever. Anyway, first thing we get is in Infinity Hexadome Legends. So this is a new edition for Aristea. There's a couple of big things coming out of this. Firstly, I think most people were kind of under the assumption that they were just finished with Aristea, like they had kind of fleshed everything out and they were done, which isn't necessarily, when it comes to board games, it's not necessarily a bad thing to turn around and go, we're done. But they're releasing a new edition. The new edition comes with a new board game. There is new expansions and everything coming for this as well. We'll be getting new sculpts of some older characters as well as some new ones. They did speak a little bit about what will be coming. They teased a couple of characters. I will let you go back and look at it. Most of the expansions are 2-character expansions. They're going to be I'm going to say a Legends character and a new character. That's my wording, not theirs, because I only watched this about 30 minutes ago and I don't remember everything that he says. So that's definitely something that's going to be quite exciting to see. Aristea is a game that I have played once. It is quite fun. It's a sports game, just for the record, George. So think Blood Bowl, but in Infinity. So it's okay. Like it's more soccer than Gridiron, though.
Sure.
Yes, Americans, I know that you don't like it when we call it Gridiron, but that's what I'm calling it.
Well, that's an appropriate name for it.
That's what it is, originally. We also have a card game coming for Rem Races. This is a game that got released last year. It's like a little cutesy racing game with the remotes from Infinity. I'm going to move on from that very quickly. I just thought I'd mention it. We had a look at some really nice looking terrain. Anyway, there's a Season 17 tournament pack coming, which has some lovely acrylic tokens and dice and a wooden spoon that I don't think is actually wooden. I could be wrong. I love the fact that it actually comes with a physical wooden spoon, though. That's awesome. And then we get the previews of some characters and the minis for those characters. I'm just kind of going through and showing off some of them. There's a really cool looking... There it is. There's a really cool looking dragonfly looking thing for one of the factions. Oh, I didn't notice that one. There's also like a helicopter one too. So yeah, some really nice looking stuff that's coming in the future. Obviously, this being the Gen Con previews, these will be released slowly over the next 12 months. But we also have a new sectorial coming for the Combined Army, and this is called the New Wave, and this is basically a faction built around the humans that have left and gone to join the Combined Army, which is a really... This is one of the big story beats from the last edition, the end of the last edition of the game. So, really, really cool idea that. I actually really like the idea of that. I might have to fight my temptations on this. They show off a couple of the character concepts, and otherwise, we will see how it goes. Last thing I will mention. I mentioned Hexadome right off the bat. There is a video game being established for Hexadome. We don't know when it'll happen. We don't know when it'll be released or anything at this point. It's mentioned as part of the update on that. Probably the most appropriate thing from the franchise to get a video game, because they tend to translate a little better to the tabletop than a full-on war game does. I mean, you could do Infinity, but it would end up having to kind of be... Like, it wouldn't be an Infinity game. It would end up being like...
Sure. Yeah.
Like a Space Marine type thing, I guess. For Warcrow. First things first, Hoopo's back. I haven't seen her in a video for ages. I'd actually wondered if she was still there. First thing they show off is the tournament pack, which is quite nice. There's a character that comes in the tournament pack. So for those that don't know, tournament packs are like an official product that they buy. Sorry, that they sell. That has like tokens in it for those that take place in the tournament, and it's a prize pack thing essentially. Comes with some lovely acrylic tokens, a character that's originally from the board game Warcrow Adventures. It was like a 14-year-old character that's kind of now got a massive glow up. They do show you a more detailed picture of what he looks like, and he looks amazing. It's a gorgeous looking character actually, with his blue fire hair, which apparently is a item that he gets in the game at some point. The sculpt is quite nice as well. Although I will say the sculpt kind of... In the sculpt, he's kind of like... just kind of standing there holding his flame, and in the artwork, he's all like... It's probably the only criticism I would have, and it's not really criticism, it's just... Oh, no, he just has a smirk in the picture. It's not quite as much as I thought. Then we get some... Yep.
I was gonna say I'm going through this video, so I'm just kind of like clicking forward a little bit, and my God, their minis are just too good looking.
I know. They do show us off some action packs. So last year when the game first came out, the box set was for the Orcs and for the Hegemony. With the new box set coming out that we discussed last episode, I think, that box is going to be taken away and then re-released as separate action pack boxes, which I am really excited for because there's part of me that would really like to buy the Orcs. I've been tempted by them for a long time, but I just didn't want to buy a faction that I wasn't going to use. In saying that, we also get some previews for the Feudum. There's this really cool looking unit of guys that have skulls on their helmets. Because, every faction needs to have a skull somewhere. It's the law of wargaming, according to Games Workshop. It's a really cool looking beefy guy with armor as well. And then we get into... Where is the Scions? The Scions are also quite pretty. That's not a Scion. There we go. So the Scions have this really looking undead beasts, and they're just hideously gorgeous. There's also this... They show off a concept design for like a mage that has these raising eyeballs, giant eyeballs above it, and tentacles escaping from its cloak. It's like it's a it's an ooze that's wearing clothing. It's quite insane in the best way. I don't think they show a miniature for that one. Oh, they do show a miniature for that one. It's really cool. If you don't like painting eyes, don't worry. These eyeballs are complete eyeballs. It makes it even harder. There's some really... I could sit here forever talking about everything that's coming for this, and it's really... This is one of those games where everything they're doing looks really pretty, to the point where it's becoming a problem. They also show off some stuff for the existing factions as well. There's some more stuff for those really awesome-looking elves that we liked. There's a giant robot in here somewhere for the Hegemony. There it is. And it's just gorgeous. I mean, I say it's a giant robot. This is a sci-fi world, so it's a steampunky robot-looking thing, but... If I would say one thing, it's like the giant robot does kind of look like it belongs... It almost looks like it belongs in Infinity, which is something I'd say you want to be careful with, because you don't want the games to feel like they are together. And the Rock Troll is awesome too. That one, that is another giant thing that looks like it's a tag size, but at least that one looks like it belongs in fantasy. I mean, I can see what they're trying to do with the steampunky vibe, but I think the armor for the other one feels like it's an Infinity tag.
So look at the Rock Troll for the Northern Tribe. I just noticed The left forearm is not attached to the body.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. That's well spotted. Oh, I love that even more now.
I love it when they do things like that, where it's just like you can really have some fun with the basing on that, and like really extend that out further from the body. You know, that's a really cool.
I love that you've also got this safety railing thing. Like, this thing has just risen out of the ground. Like, the safety railing has been put there by somebody that has no idea this is a troll underneath the ground.
Yeah.
All right. Modifius have a new Doom game coming. The last time I saw Doom in a board game was about 10 years ago. I don't know who made the game, though. It wasn't Modifius. It was actually a really good game. I've been tempted to buy it for a very long time. We don't know a lot about this yet. This is just kind of a, hey, this is coming. So it's Doom the Dark Ages, the most recent board game. They're calling it an arena board game. So in theory, it should have a bit of a... I'm imagining that it's just going to have a bit of a 1v all type scenario, or it's going to be my miniature against yours. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I hope a game like this can have like a very much, a solo mode, since it is a, based on a first person.
You would hope so,
so to speak. Yeah.
The last game essentially, it kind of felt a bit Diablo-ish because it was kind of like a dungeon crawler, but it was Doom themed, and it worked very, very well. The best first-person shooter board game I have ever played is called Fragged, and it's quite old at this point, and it's literally like an arena fighter where I am fighting you in a deathmatch type thing, and it's done really nicely. I'd love to see it done with some actual miniatures, or redone with some miniatures. I guess we'll see how this comes out. I mean, being Modifius, it's going to be $5 million to buy it anyway, so, because Modifius are high-end production. It's just the market that they aim for.
Well, maybe it'll be worth it then. The quality of the content. Then, if that's their.
I'm not sitting here saying that they're a bad company. I'm just saying that they don't make cheap products. That they aim for pricey, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. We have the Anson residence. I don't know for a fact, but I'm assuming that there's meant to be an M there, right? I don't know if I've ever seen pictures of the Manson residence personally, but I'm guessing that that's what this is from. Unless this is from a movie and I'm just mixing up what they're referencing. So this is the Black Site Studio story.
Yeah.
Either this is from a horror movie and they're just calling it the Anson residence because it sounds good.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. It's not... beyond the fact that this is just a beautiful piece of three-dimensional terrain. I hate Black Site Studios so much to the fact with, here's a piece of house terrain. It has a first floor, a second floor, and a third floor. Like, for crying out loud, we can only, do you want us to use all three? Is it just a terrain piece? Like, stop giving us so many options.
I mean, to me, this is a piece that you play inside of as well. So
I
look at this, and you know what I see? I see a custom scenario where you're playing Home Alone. That's what I see. I mean, I know it's not what it's aimed at, but that's what I see. I mean, I know it's the wrong house, but you could totally do Home Alone inside this.
The other thing that irritates me with the Black Site Studio terrain stuff, it comes pre-painted too. Like it's multi-level, looks that good.
How dare they make a good product that you want? How dare they?
And it's so stinking reasonably priced. Like, my God.
Yeah.
Like, why can't the rest of the industry do what Black Site's doing?
If I didn't have to pay for the postage from the US, I would probably own everything that they have. The fact that the price more than doubles for me is the only reason I don't have more of their terrain. And this is not a dig at them. US Postal Services to Australia sucks. It's just a fact of life.
Well, postal services in general to Australia suck. I mean, let's be honest. Logistically, you guys are in a pretty well. Okay, let's use rail to get there. Oh wait, we can't. Everything has to go by boat or by plane.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. That's just not where I thought you were going with that.
Oh, I mean, it's just.
Yeah,
it's just
It's so pretty. All right, there's this little company called TTCombat, and now we get to have fun trying to figure out what on earth we're looking at. So, first things first, thank you, Mark McKenzie, for saying that we could have a look at your photos. I have more photos to show off, actually. I've just remembered about that. So, this is a miniature that is being shown off at Gen Con. There's a few people here trying to guess what the picture actually is. We have our own theories. I had said in our chat that I had a pretty solid idea of what it was, and then about 10 minutes later I've turned around and went, nope, I'm wrong, never mind. I still hadn't said to anybody apart from you before we recorded what that was. In my head, I'm like, oh, I mean, this kind of has a bit of a feel for the Shaltari. What do we know of for the Shaltari? They have those slave Pungari type guys. Yeah, that's totally what this is. And then I've realised, oh, no, that's wrong. We've actually seen what they look like already. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
I had a really good theory until I realised, no, they've actually shown us what they look like. I mean, my theory for this is that it's very clearly a new faction. Like, this does not fit with anything else that we've seen yet.
So like the feel I get from this, and I already told you about this. The feel I get from this, like, this looks very flying, space going cathedral, like the stained glass, the very, flowing lines and stuff like that. Like, I don't know if Dave was inspired by this, but this gives me vibes of the Ori, which were the big baddies in the last couple seasons of Stargate SG-1.
Yeah.
Is that the?
Yeah, I'm gonna send it in. I'm gonna send it in the group chat because I can show it on screen. Multiple different views. Gotcha. He sent them to me after I asked.
Well, that was quite nice of him. Thank you.
Yes, I will be editing these into the episode, he says, giving himself more work on a day that he doesn't have time to do it.
Good job.
This thing is absolutely gorgeous. And if you buy this, I'm sorry, you have to paint the stained glass windows. It's that is the law. I'm setting the law out now. You're not allowed to buy this unless you paint. No, I mean, you have to buy it, but you also have to paint the stained glass windows because you don't get to paint them normally. You have to paint them multiple colours. That is the law. I have laid the law down.
Do you know that's kind of giving me the feel of too?
What?
It's it's kind of giving me a feel of the Mon Calamari ships from Star Wars.
Okay, I mean, it definitely has some squid aesthetics there at the back.
Well, what you really get the feel of in Rogue One, when they go to Scarif and you actually get to see like a proper capital ship battle is the Mon Calamari. Their bridge is on the bottom.
Yep.
And so if you look at the different view of this ship, like there's definitely more going on underneath than there is on top.
All right, for those that I was teasing, here we go. Here are the images that I just sent to George. And they are very pretty. It's a very pretty looking ship.
Yeah.
And it's completely different than anything else that we've gotten. Like I said, there's a few people with different theories and stuff. Seventh Faction is definitely one of the theories that's out there. There are other people that have had other thoughts as well. But I don't see how this isn't a completely different faction. It doesn't fit with anything else that we've got. I mean, it can't be us. I mean, I mean, it could be a spin-off of the Scourge. I would say it doesn't really fit with the rest of the army, though.
I was gonna say, does it? The closest it fits with is either PHR or Sheltari.
I would say the closest it fits with is Sheltari aesthetically. I wouldn't say PHR at all.
Well, I would say PHR because of the flowing.
Yeah, I suppose.
The PHR, they've got like the large, smooth, flowing broads, bulkheads. This is just long, flowing chunks of shit. Like, yes, it does look very Sheltari, but it's not. Like, I would have to say that the closest thing this is probably a 7th faction.
Yeah,
and my guess is, and I like where this is going. My guess is it's some sort of fanatical religious alien race.
Yep.
With that, like just that stained glass, it has to be. And quite frankly, I think there's nothing wrong with a little bit of a zealotry faction that declares everything heresy and tries to burn you to ground for it.
So I did reach out to one of the contacts we have at TTCombat because TTCombat are very tight-lipped on this. Very, very tight-lipped. To the point where one of the admins for the Dropfleet Commander community got the mission of get Dave drunk and ask him questions, and Dave didn't say anything about this. He was very self-controlled. So I reached out to, the owner of TTCombat because we have a bit of a relationship with him, and the answer I got was the emoticon with the zip lip response, which I just thought was just amazing.
Frickin' jerks.
To the point where, in theory, on screen right now, I have like the emoticon on screen because I just want to. I kind of joked that I was going to screen capture it, but obviously I'm not going to do that because I don't want people looking at the profile picture and knowing that it's him. All right. Very briefly, we'll talk about what else we've got. We have a blood bartering, which is a new vampire. Actually, wait. No, it's the guild. It's not the vampires at all. I saw blood and I'm thinking, it must be vampires. Nope, this is the guild. Nice looking faction. I kind of like everybody's kind of all big and fancy, and there's this older guy that looks like he's down on his luck and is extremely nervously holding this sword. He looks like he's trembling. Like, seriously, the last guy there looks like he's trembling and really doesn't want to be there. He looks terrified.
He's like, sorry, but I'm going to have to stab you now. I'm really sorry about it.
As opposed to, the guy before him is like owning it. He's like, yeah, I'm going to kill everybody. Really nice, really, really nice looking figures.
Yeah, the woman in the white robe, she's just like, I'm going to sacrifice you, and I'm going to love sacrificing you.
That is the sort of miniature that realistically, if you wanted to, you could paint that to be the most sheer-looking garment you wanted. I mean, if you're that person that can do it, it's the miniature to do it with. We also have... we've seen previews of parts of this. Heaven's Grace is finally out. I remember us looking at previews of this at some point some time ago, because I remember us commenting on like the biblical representation of the angel thing there.
Yeah, how they actually were more closer to the description of the angels than what our angels are depicted as. Yeah.
We also have steak and ale, and if you look at the back, if you look at the other pictures, very clearly steak is Spike, right? Like, there's no question about that's Spike from Buffy. The other one doesn't quite work, but by the angel wings on the back, I would say that it's supposed to be Angel. It's just that obviously it's not Angel because it's a dwarf. But I really like these. These are a lot of fun. This is another tag team for Rumble Slam, obviously. But like the Spike miniature is done perfectly. It's very punk rock. It's very much Spike in the train in the 80s when he's killing the older Slayer. I don't know how much of a Buffy person you are or not.
I watched it a long time ago. Never really finished it. When it got to the whole Buffy fell into a portal, so a new Slayer was made, but then she came back, so there was 2 Slayers. And then Buffy had a sister with like a brain or one brain tumor. It's just like, all right, I'm done.
So Spike was played by James Marsters, not Masters, Marsters. I hate that those two actors have names that are so similar.
The best way to remember it is Spike is played by the guy who does the narration for the Dresden Files.
Okay, sure. I've never seen that. Moving on.
Have you never heard the Dresden Files?
I know what it is. I haven't seen it.
No. I'm talking like the audiobooks. James Marsters, he does the narration.
No.
For the audiobooks. Fantastic job. You have to check it out.
Here we have Duchess Rosa that looks like she belongs on a giant castle on a hill outside of a village. And that she might be, 7 feet tall with vampire daughters. This is very clearly like the big boss from Resident Evil Village, right? Except she's not painted in white clothing. She's painted in black and purple because, it's different. But, I mean, they describe her they describe her that she's very large, that she's got skin like moonlight and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Blood of Maidens. I mean, she's. This is Lady Demiscu or whatever her name was. That's very clearly what's inspired this, and I love it. I'm here for it.
The alternate pose of the backside without the cloak. That's very provocative.
Oh, I had never noticed that. There's an alternate build for it. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, no cloak, so.
And it's done really well. That is really well done. Oh, that's great. Well done, guys. The seam on where that connects is just perfection.
Yep.
And then finally, we have a page that is not loading properly for me. There we go. So,
which one was this?
TTCombat have announced a new board game is coming. So this is going to be very similar to the Achilles box that we got from Drop Zone, but this is a Dropfleet board game called Dreadhold. So this is a spaceship game in a box where you are trying to fight against a criminal empire that's kind of taken over this prison ship that they were all on. It's Con Air, but in space. And Con Air has multiple ships, I guess. This sounds like it should be a lot of fun. My first thought when I saw what they were describing was, they're announcing one of the missions that's coming for Drop Squad Commander. Strike Team, obviously. But no, this is a box set for Dropfleet. It's a standalone Dropfleet game, very similar to what we got recently for Drop Zone Commander. Honestly, it looks like a decent box. I mean, I don't know what it'll cost yet, obviously, because it's not out for pre-order yet, but the ships look really cool.
4 frigates, 2 cruisers, whatever that thing is.
I love the big looking Dreadhold ship. I think it looks really cool.
I'm gonna say right around $100.
Possible. I have no idea.
Because it looks like 2 cruiser boxes, like the boxes where you got like your frigates and your cruiser ships that were like $50. It looks like it's 2 of those plus like all the stuff you need to play the game. So you bundle that together, able to discount it some, blah blah blah. I'm gonna say right around $100.
Certainly possible. Like I said, I think it looks really cool. And it's UCM versus Resisti, as far as like what's in the box is concerned. The giant UCM ship is just glorious. I love it. Yep. I mean, I say giant, but it almost looks like it's a pistol. because of the thing that's coming out of the back of it.
Yeah. Well, and if that's to scale to like the frigates and the cruisers, which it's not, it can't be because those frigates are huge. Then.
Oh, I don't
If
know
those are
what
even
size. I'm not
frigates.
saying that it's a giant ship, but that does look like it's the size of one of the heavy cruisers. So the frigates, I mean,
Actually,
they look like large frigates, but yeah, I don't know. They're all custom to the
Yeah, I was
box by the look of it.
well, so it looks you got the two normal sized cruisers, right?
Yeah.
Like okay, we know how big those are. Those others, maybe not cruisers. What's
Frigates.
the step up from frigates? Destroyers or
Yeah. They could be destroyer sized, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's really tough to tell because I don't recognize those UCM ships at all.
Yeah.
Indie. Definition. Independent. Type. Slang word. Jargon.
So, you never played fantasy, right? Like pure fantasy Warhammer.
No.
Okay.
I know what it is.
So, yeah, it was pretty easy concept. You had your rank and file of, for your units.
Yeah.
Thus, you had movement trays, and movement trays were so amazing because you could move an entire, unit all at once. And with the skirmish games, 40K and Sigmar, it's a little more difficult because you want to have them spaced out. You want them to take up the space. You want to maximize, the distance. Well, this does that for you. It will give you, circular base sizes based off of, what the base size is for your faction, and it's magnetic. So if you're like me, who stores his minis magnetically, your minis will then just attach to the tray magnetically, and there's a little tab you can fold up and just use that tab to move the entire tray, and thus moving your entire unit. Which, couple benefits. What happens is someone makes that really nice looking, awesome hill terrain that minis won't stay on the side of.
Yes.
But if you have something like this, you can kind of like just sit it there and they'll stay at that angle and be fine. So now in the case of because you could do this with Sigmar and 40K, you could attach like a priest or a warlord or someone who's not part of that unit but can be attached to it and like they move with it. They have little add-ons that magnetically clip to the tray for your lieutenant type guy.
That's the mini clip thing, I assume?
Yep.
Yep.
So yeah, like as simple as this is, it's a really brilliant idea. Let's see, and then if you go to the store section,
Yep.
let's see, that is not okay. Yeah, so if you go down to circular and oval trays, there's 6 products listed.
Mm-hmm.
If you click on that, then you have the 32 millimeter circular base, the top right one. So you can get it in multiple sizes. So there's a 5 unit, and then 2 next to each other, 2 spread out, 3 spread out, so you can like build your mob and horde.
Yep. And they've been designed so that they go together, but they're far enough apart. And
Yep.
I like the tab too. The tab is a really nice touch.
Yeah, it just you bend it up and you can just a little something to grab onto and move it.
Yeah.
It's such a simple little, like when I was first looking at it, I'm like, well, what's this little thing popping up? Oh, it's the movement stick. It's so, there's different options. You can choose different oval sizes for the cavalry and some of those monsters that aren't on round bases.
Yeah. You can have it. You can choose so that they're either 1 inch apart or that they're closed in a straight line. So you can buy different ones depending on how you want your thing to be structured.
Yep.
There's also what I'm going to call they're calling it a mini mag spacer. In my head, I'm like, yep, this is a cohesion measurement. Because these are all 1 mil and 2 mil spacings that you can kind of just measure out however you need them to be.
Yep.
No, this is really well done.
It's super simple. It's, I mean, to just, eventually, kit out an entire army, it will cost you some money, but to start off with, like, your 20, get a tray for your 20-man unit.
I mean, there are people out there that sell like the MDF version of this idea, essentially, and it works, but it's also kind of ugly. It's an idea that was originally stolen from the Lord of the Rings game. It was a product that they used to sell for that, and they basically chose not to after a while, is my understanding.
What I like about this is, it's a sealed magnetic thing. So if you already are magnetizing and storing your minis that way, this is, like, you don't have to do anything else. This shows up and you're ready to go. Yeah.
There is a version for fantasy as well, as there should be, because it's an even easier game to do it for. And it's got the tabs on it. It's got everything. Like, as someone that hasn't played fantasy and never will, I like the idea of the mini holder things.
Yeah.
I can't think what they're called again.
The movement trays?
Movement trays, thank you. But moving them around always looks insanely awkward because you've got to try and do it without all the minis falling over. So the little tab where you can just grab the tab and kind of push or lift it slightly and then lower it down, depending on whether it's a mat or not, is a really nice touch. They also sell them for Kings of War, which is interesting because I wouldn't say that it's really a product that you want for Tim's Kings of War. Well, I suppose you get the tab as well. Because Kings of War, when I built my army, I deliberately built it with the whole diorama thing in mind. But I guess not everybody does that, so yeah, I'll be quiet.
Now here's the one thing I absolutely loved about this webpage. So if you go all the way back out to, minimagtrade.co.uk, where you got the nice little video at the top, you scroll down and you got the 3 images. Look at the middle image and look at that bottle of glue and tell me if that's not their bottle of glue that is just absolutely gross and nasty and just... Yeah. I mean, that... We need to glue this on. Okay, take the picture.
Actually, I'm going to sit here and correct you because that's not a bottle of glue. That's a glue gun.
Oh, is it a glue gun?
It's a hot glue gun.
Oh, yeah. But still, they didn't get a nice, new, clean one. No, they just grabbed the nasty, ratty one sitting over on the bench.
It shows that they're real hobbyists and not just people trying to pretend to be.
Right? Yeah, it looks way more authentic. So I saw that too. I was just like, oh, they didn't get a nice prop. They just used what they had. So
yeah, no, this is a really nice find.
Yeah, so this is right up there with that the on tabletop movement sticks that you were told us about. I was still in order set.
I still want those. I really want to. I'm going to order them and get them directed through one of the postal services so I can have them.
Yeah, but yeah, I thought and the thing is, like I said, this isn't like horribly expensive if you think about it.
No, not really.
Trim, glue, prime, paint.
All right. Do I have some hobby to discuss? Yes. I had a hobby weekend with some friends last week. I actually managed to get started on the World War II miniatures that I showed off last episode, very briefly. Unfortunately, my webcam doesn't like showing miniatures, but we'll see how we do. Like, none of these are finished. They're all work in progress. But I started base coding, essentially. So basically what I'm trying to do... I have some thoughts. So there's 2 things that I showed off that I had bought. One was this box set, which I'm really happy with. Like, even the 3D printed miniatures, as much as I was unhappy that... Not so much that they were selling 3D miniatures, but they were selling 3D printed miniatures and not telling you that's what you bought. That's what upset me. Because that's not okay. And I say as much in my review that's not out yet. I might put that out this week, possibly. I probably should have done it last week. But the Army Painter box that I bought to paint them. This is the second time I've fallen for this. So if anything, it's my fault. Well, no, it's not my fault. It's still their fault for the way they advertise it. If you're selling a box set that is designed to paint something very specific, in this case, World War II Germans, and you're advertising that it's coming with a paint guide, it would be a fair assessment that you're aiming that at a customer that probably doesn't know what colours go where. They're probably going to assume that that paint guide, whilst it doesn't tell them everything that they need to know, at least gives them a base idea of what colours are to be used where and how to use them. No, it's the same generic paint guide that tells you how to use paints that they put in every box. Like I said, it's not the first time I've fallen for this, but it really upsets me because with a box like this, if you're advertising that it comes with a paint guide, you assume that it's coming with a paint guide, not a generic booklet on how paints work, which is what it is. I'm not going to go as far as to say that it's false advertisement, but that really pissed me off.
Yeah.
Because it was one of the reasons I bought it. If I knew that's what it came with, I wouldn't have spent $110 on it because I would have just speed painted them. But I bought that specifically because I don't paint historical miniatures, and I thought that would be a really helpful guide for someone that didn't paint historicals.
The scale 75 stuff, on one side of it, this is how you do painting stuff. But then on the other side of it, it was for the paint specifically in that package with, the metallics of, or the blacks and stuff like that. So, the
booklet itself is fine. Like, it's a nice booklet, but it's the generic booklet that goes in every box that they sell. It's quite literally this one. And I mean, sure, it talks about priming your miniatures. It talks about how to base coat. It tells you the consistencies and stuff that you're expecting, which is great. But none of this talks about the product that's in the box at all. There's nothing in this that actually it is quite literally the generic how to use paints guide. Again, this is a decent book. When I opened up my speed paint box and this was in it, I made a point of saying in those videos that this is actually a book that's worth reading. But I'm sorry. If you buy a box like this and it tells you that it's coming with a free paint guide included,
you would hope that and expect that it was a World War II.
I'm sorry, but it sounds like they're talking about it's a guide on how to paint World War II or how to use the box. Rant over.
Yeah, that's for all the good that Army Painter does do. That is something that just they don't. It's they have that one thing, they just use that one thing, and they don't do anything else, and it is kind of upsetting.
There's probably only a small percentage of people that would find the book that I expected in this useful. But if you're selling a box like this, will historical people buy it? Yes. You're advertising it as accurate colours, so yes, they will buy it. But a lot of the people buying this are going to be buying it because they don't know what the colours they need are.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I could have just used generic greens and greys. I didn't care how accurate they were. I bought it, I didn't really care about how accurate the colours were. I bought it because I thought you were going to tell me how to do it. I didn't expect to be walked through. I'm not that stupid. I can look at the picture on my card and go, well, that's a darker grey, so I'm going to use this one. But it doesn't talk anything about what the colours are intended for. I mean, sure, the grey green colour is the main German green. Yes, sure, I get that. I'm talking about the Feldgrau green, which is like, it's a really nice colour, and it is very accurate to what I've seen. But yeah, it's just, it was, yeah, that disappointed me. It pissed me off. In saying that, miniatures themselves are coming out really nicely. They all have ways to go yet. I do apologise, but unfortunately, like I said, my webcam does not like showing off miniatures. I need a real camera one day. But yeah, that's been the main part of my hobby. I did get a game of a board game in recently, but it wasn't a miniatures one. I showed off on the Discord last night. I reworked all of the cards for Entropy City. Well, not all of them. I've reworked all of the Hades and the Komodo cards for Entropy City. It can be found in the Entropy City channel on the Discord. Basically, when the last version of the cards I did, because I completely reworked it, but not all of the writing was large enough to be able to be read. You could read it, but it was very tiny. Because I'd reworked it to include like giving character names and stuff. Because, well, that needed to happen at some point. Are they final? No, because all of the names are just generic. These names exist in the game. I'm just going to say it's this person for now. And then under, I'll put like a description of what the model was. So, cruiser rider with chain, for example. And that text in particular was almost ineligible because it was so small. So that's been reworked. Really happy that I reworked that. It kind of looks quite nice, I think. I did also have a bit of a rant because I realised 2 weeks ago when I reformatted my computer, I did not back up my fonts folder again.
Oh.
Yeah. So I lost all of the fonts that I had saved. I did manage to find the one for the Entropy City logo, which is good because I actually really like how that logo looks. But I had lost the one that the cards were originally being done with. I've changed it to Tahoma, which is a dull font, but I actually quite like Tahoma. Like, as far as the standard generic fonts is concerned, Tahoma's always been my favourite. And dull fonts are easy to read, so you know what? I don't care. There's not really a standard font that's going to feel like... In order for it to feel Entropy City, it's going to end up having to be a font that's harder to read, and so I don't think that's really a direction I want to go anyway. I mean, I can't... There's not really fonts out there that's going to feel like it comes from that sort of world that's not difficult to read, so I don't want to do that. I will save that for the character name, and that can be where the flair is. None of the fonts in this are final. It's all still work in progress, but yeah. That's been my hobby. I'm guessing from the way you asked the question that you don't have any hobby.
No. I have been filling around with... let's see if I can pull the cord out enough. I've been filling around with this guy.
Yep.
Trying to add shortcuts for video editing because my keyboard... If you look at that key, it's a Windows keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, the shortcuts, I'm not screwing with my keyboard because I do a remote session every day to go to work, and so I need my Windows shortcuts to work. So instead of changing how stuff works and how the keyboard works, I got myself a while ago, but I'm actually finally just setting it up. One of these little Stream Decks to just push buttons to do the commands with and stuff, and I'm playing with to see like how much I can do with it, like command wise, like as far as what all it can do. that's about it. I've my sleep apnea machine is showing up CPAP on Monday, so finally going to use that to see if I can finally get a good night's sleep for the first time in a couple months, and see if I have more energy and if I'm more motivated to do things. Other than, I'm not exaggerating. Today I took a 2-hour nap. Why? Because I just could not stay awake. Because 8 hours of sleep is not enough for me right now. Because
you're not sleeping properly. Yeah.
Yeah. So it, folks. If you're listening, if you sleep a lot and you still feel tired, get yourself checked. There's telehealth on the web. You don't have to go to a doctor to have sleep apnea diagnosed.
Yeah. I had been questioning whether I had it for a while, because I do snore quite badly, which is usually a pretty sure sign that you are sleep apnea. Not necessarily, but it can be.
Yeah.
And when I reset up my old phone, my alarm app actually has the ability to record you, and like it records the audio and like it tracks you as you're sleeping. And so I started making a point of like, oh, actually, yes, start recording my audio. I want to listen back to it. And I started doing that. It's like, no, I don't stop breathing. I just get quiet, because there's bits of the night where I will just stop snoring for a bit because I'm relaxed or whatever, and then the snoring will start again. But the important thing was I can actually still hear my breathing. So I wasn't actually stopping breathing like people thought I was, which was a nice thing to see.
I was stopped. My breathing was stopping 76 times an hour.
Which is not good.
Yeah, no. So.
Because I've been told that a few times by people who were like, yeah, no, you need to get yourself checked. And I was like, Well, I was being typical male about it, let's be honest.
Yeah, and I'll throw this out there too. I mean, it's not the cheapest thing without insurance, but it's also, I haven't turned any of this into my insurance. It was $400 for, the initial appointment and consult to have the diagnosis done. That's not any of the equipment, but I mean...
And but you also live in the worst country to get any of this stuff done. And there are countries in Africa that would be worse.
Like I said, that's without insurance. I have a high deductible insurance, and I'm turning it in so it goes towards my deductible. But if you have normal insurance, not a high deductible, it'd be even cheaper. So it's like I said, it was all telehealth. This has nothing to do with gaming, but this is something I discovered that's an important health thing. So if you sleep and you're still tired, get yourself checked. It's not that bad. It's not that invasive.
I've said a few times that I think we should talk about things that aren't purely gaming sometimes. You and I have literally debated and argued over the subject. But when it comes to things like health, especially things like that, which is also quite common amongst people in this hobby, because there tends to be more people that are, heavier, and our age demographic as well. It's not in our age demographic is where it starts to show the most. So I think talking about that sort of stuff.
Once you turn
important.
40, you start falling apart. And right now I am at the heaviest I've ever been in my life too. So that's something else I guess I got to work on now too, for crying out loud. So
yeah, we're all there. We're all there.
So.
Talk nerdy to me.
Let's go back and revisit what we were almost going to talk about last episode. Let's talk about pop culture things that deserve games.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I'm going to start. I'm going to start with one from the 90s, because we were very 80s last time. Because you know what? I think the Buffyverse could get some really good-looking miniatures, and I think it would lend itself to gaming really well.
So I could actually see that happening very easily.
Board game, though.
Yeah. It has to be a board game, but that would be really easy to. Because what did CMON do for the longest time? They take their zombie site, slap it onto a IP, and run with it. Yeah. That is totally doable for the Buffy universe, for that zombie site template. And now that Asmodee owns that IP, they have the power and leverage to get an intellectual property that big.
Yeah, 100%.
So, and at this point, I wouldn't even call Buffy that big. It's more, a fandom big. Although I've seen a lot of people kind of turn away from it after all the Joss Whedon stuff came out. So,
yeah, separate. I think the thing that I keep on with that is because, yes, Joss Whedon is problematic. I'm not going to suggest otherwise. And yes, there's the whole argument of separating art from artist. But at the same time, it's not just his show. There's a lot of other artists involved. I realized that he was the main creative director for it. Like, he created it. But he's not why people fell in love with it. They fell in love with it because of the actors.
So Bruce, actually, I'm going to stop and I'm going to retool this question actually, and then stop us before we get too deep into it. Because what is one form of media out there that is too big for everyone to know everything about?
Pop culture.
Books.
Oh, book. Yeah.
So yes, I have the Dresden Files card game. Board game, but I would sell a kidney to get a proper Cthulhu style Dresden Files with miniatures based off the books and everything board game based off Jim Butcher's work. So Bruce, book series, what do you see that you turn into a proper? And we're gonna go with board game because I'd say that's a little easier to.
You're taking away one of my answers that I had lined up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But
it's a fair question though, because we haven't touched on books either.
Yeah,
I mean the big one that comes up for me is one that's already been done. Like Lord of the Rings has been done to death. It's been done.
Oh,
but it also had movies, which made it easier.
Yeah. You could argue Star Wars has been done to death too.
Yeah.
They've attempted to do Star Trek to death too. Even though Star Trek is probably one of the hardest, most popular sci-fi genres to properly do a board game of, because
I reckon
Star
the
Trek
hardest.
Ships.
I reckon I reckon the Narnia series would be harder to do properly. The fact that it's very religiously heavy in its themes wouldn't help, because that does turn certain people off.
I'm going to disagree with that, because just as I said previously with that new ship that we're seeing for Dropfleet, I hope that's a zealot. This is heresy and we're going to stamp you out. Like, yes, I understand some people will have a problem with that, but also I think in a gaming entertainment type, thing that we're in, having that kind of like, we are the witch hunters and we're going to go, kill witches.
Yeah.
I think that's perfectly fine and great.
I think if you were to do a Narnia's, I mean, you would have to do, like, it's either going to be The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, or it's going to be Silverchair, because I don't see the other books translating very well. Like, Voyage of the Dawn Treader would not make a very good board game. It's too here, there, and everywhere. Prince Caspian, you probably could, but there's also a lot of traveling in that as well. It would probably have to become kind of more representative rather than miniatures heavy. Because unless you kind of focus on like one of the battles or something, which you could certainly do.
Sure.
I guess there's traveling in a lot of them, because even Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, like, there's the big venture to try and get to where Aslan's going to be and the snow melting. And I think you would have to do board game, though. Not as much as people would be tempted to try and recreate those battles. I don't think that's where the interesting part of Narnia is the character stuff. And as much as, like, there's part of me that's like, the religious themes is probably what might turn people off, I would also probably argue that if it's not included or the focus, it probably wouldn't work either. Yeah. Because I'm not saying that it needs to be a game that is there to bash you over the head with its themes, but it's not that franchise if that's not the main focus.
So here's mine.
Yep.
Okay. Brandon Sanderson. Familiar with him?
Yeah. I haven't read any of his stuff,
for
but
those
I
who
know
don't-
who they are.
Well, so Brandon Sanderson, in my opinion, really got thrown onto the scene, and he is a very good author. But he was the one that was very quickly trained by Robert Jordan to finish the Wheel of Time series for Robert Jordan as he was dying from cancer.
Yep.
So that's where he came onto my radar, and he came up with a book series called the Mistborn series, and
Yep.
that would be a great squad based, like almost a kill team board game.
Mhm.
Because you have the different magical components, with the different types of metals, and different people can use either singular, multiple, or all the metals, and just I think that would be a really good, squad based fighting, like almost a kill team.
Yep.
And I think that would lend itself really well to just being a in the board, in the box board game, whereas multiple tiles are set up to have a different map. Your different classes of this guy could do this and this guy can do this and this. And build that team out, and then have it be almost like a dungeon crawler type experience where there's different monsters, there's different modules you could bring into expand the universe and play the game that way. I think that would be a really good board game conversion from a novel, I think.
Yep. Wizard of Oz.
Ooh.
Starts as a book series, has a lot more of a book series than most people realize it does. Yes, I haven't read any of the books, but I am aware that they go somewhat insane at some point, to the point where from what I understand, it gets like almost ridiculously insane at some point. From what I understand, there was a lot of work to get that to work on stage and then on the screen. Like, the movies were originally based on the stage show, not the book, from what I understand. But there is so much you could do with that. Like, even from media. Have you seen Oz the Great and Powerful?
I've not. Wait.
With James Franco.
No, I have not. The most recent adaptation I saw was on Sci-Fi. It was a 3-part series with Alan Cunningham. I
did see that, actually. That was, I did enjoy that.
Zoe Deschanel, I believe. That was my most. But when you said that, another one that just popped in my head too that I think would be great, Alice in Wonderland.
Actually, yeah. Board game specifically, though.
But here's the thing: is you have to take that. You have to lean heavy into the horror on that.
Yep.
So
you lean more towards the video game, not the Disney movies. You'd sell more if it was based on Disney, though.
Well, yeah. But yeah, no, like a good proper like Alice Through the Looking Glass, where it's like creepy like Resident Evil.
Yeah,
that would be a good game.
Yeah, like I say, base it on the video game. Don't base it on the movies. I'm not a fan of these movies, but the live action ones they did like 10, 15 years ago with Johnny Depp and stuff would lead very well into a miniatures game because it was fleshed out very well. It just wasn't written very good. Because Burton can only write one type of thing.
Well, yeah. Well, let's be honest. If Tim Burton's the only one doing the writing, it's going to be the same thing. And the same thing.
I feel like I'm being unfair, but Tim Burton, to me, is like... I enjoy what he does when he does it well, but he's so much of a one-trick pony that so much of what he throws at the wall doesn't stick.
No, exactly. I'll even throw and this is not even on topic, but Quentin Tarantino's the same way.
Oh, I can't stand Tarantino's work.
But if you look at them though, they're all the same thing. It's just different characters in a different plot line, but everything it's all over the place. Nothing is linear. It's all the same thing. So, but yeah, yeah.
The thing I
definitely
love
think-
about Tarantino fans is there's always the, oh, no, you just don't get it. But, yes, I do get it. It's very obvious. There's nothing hidden here. Tarantino is not subtle. Try again. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I don't like it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think Alice
Bill's sake. Kill Bill. I mean, I just kind of threw, I just threw things all over Tarantino, but that's a miniatures game. That is, it's a one against many. But like, even just the scene of her against, like at the end of the second movie, like that would be an awesome video game. And
no.
tabletop game.
I've got better than that. So it's Kill Bill, right? You have Bill, you have Black Mamba, you have all the characters, right?
Yeah.
And you have episodes, the game pack where you're going to go assassinate this person with these.
Oh, so you base it on before the wedding.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like the pre.
Which would mean you could do anything you want with it, really.
Yeah, like you could.
That actually would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Good luck getting Tarantino to sign off on it, though.
Yeah, well,
he doesn't like people playing with his toys.
Here's another good one that just popped in my head too, and it counts because it is a book, and you could probably get Ian Fleming to sign off on it. A 007 board game.
I'm sure there's been some, but I don't know if I've ever seen one. I mean, look, it's a franchise that bought. Back in the 80s, you got board games for everything that had nothing to do with the show. It was just reskinned all the time. Like, there was a He-Man one. Like, Mattel and all of that used... Not Mattel. Milton Bradley used to do it all the time.
Okay, so they did a Spectre one.
Oh. Who did it?
I'm trying to look right now. So that's... It's $12 on Amazon right now.
If you're making a James Bond board game, you're either making it a one versus many game, or you're doing a Zombicide-ish thing. I think I would prefer it's one versus many, personally, which makes it a two-player board game.
Brand Modifius, Modipius.
Modifius.
Yeah,
I'm surprised that's only $12 then. They don't sell things for $12. I don't know if their game is any good, but generally speaking, their games usually are.
So, and I would say like maybe like a 007 board game where it's like you don't do it mini space, but you do it like like Cthulhu based, where like you have a chapter and that's the book,
and
so like you have certain things, and you just have like your board is the world, right? It's the world map, and you can go and do things because that's what freaking James Bond does. So
yeah.
And do something like that. I can see that being more of a intellectual game.
Flip it on its head. You don't play as Bond. You play as the villains trying to stop Bond.
Oh, and the game is and Bond is the game AI trying to stop you.
Yep.
Oh my god, that is genius.
It's also probably the. I would love to play as Bond, trying to like work my way through the convoluted mission and try to take them all down. But that becomes a two-player game or a one-player game at best. Whereas if you flip it on its head, you can have 5 to 6 players easily.
And it's so much easier because in the movie, James Bond always wins, right? Because he's James frickin' Bond.
Yeah. So you make it into a pandemic type game.
Yeah, because all these like you versus like co-op games, the AI is overpowered as hell. Yep. Like you have to struggle to win, and that makes so much sense for James Bond to be the AI because you have to struggle to beat Bond because Bond beats everyone.
Yep.
No, that is brilliant.
And it's
Oh, like,
still
that
something that
needs
you
to
could
happen.
spin off into that you can have one and you base it on Moonraker. You have one, you base it on Octopussy. Like one character is obviously the main bad guy. One is the sexy girl that just happens to be evil because, there's one that happens to be evil every time.
Yeah. Oh my god, I think this is the best game idea I've ever heard of.
Maybe somebody will
'cause you
steal it
always
like
play-
they did with our He-Man one.
Right? Well, to be fair, that was probably already in planning when we talked about that. Yeah.
Oh, I know. Yeah, there's 100%. They didn't have enough time to have done what they'd done until then. By the way, when CMON eventually fixes their issues, I'm still waiting for my Gremlins board game that I want to give you lots of money for. I'm waiting. Reskin Zombicide. I want it.
Well, they can't. It's Asmodee has to do that now.
No, they can't copyright the mechanics. They could still reskin it like everybody else has.
That's fair. That's fair.
They just can't call it Zombicide. It's just a Gremlins board game that uses some of the big...
Yep.
They do like they did with He-Man. Like what they do, they take the He-Man mechanics and they just spin it for Gremlins.
God, yeah, I really like that idea though, where it's a 007 board game. You play as the bad guy, and Bond's trying to kill you. No, that is.
I'm quite proud of that idea that just came out of nowhere.
No, that's you should be. That is a genius idea. Oh.
Yeah, I'm good.
No. I'm just sitting here thinking like, oh my god, that could be so great. Especially what's his name? With the hat that he would throw.
Odd Job.
Odd Job, yeah, play as Odd Job. Oh my god.
You could do exactly the same thing with Austin Powers. And I mean, quite literally, you could do exactly the same thing with Austin Powers.
Oh. Okay, so...
And you could do it either way. You could do it as playing as Austin with all of the girls and Basil. Or you could do it as Doctor... Because who wouldn't want to play with Dr. Evil and all of that?
Yeah, no, for sure.
You give Dr. Evil and Scott these rules where they're not allowed to be within so many inches of each other.
Yeah. No, that's... God. Take it that okay, so... I like this idea of, like, taking the property, but you flip it around to where you have to stop the good guy. No, that is really good. I think that is...
For Bond especially, I think it would work really well.
Well, it'd work really well. Well, it'd still be the same.
It's also
thing,
probably it's probably one of the franchises where it would sell because of that reason too.
Yeah. But also do that with like Terminator, where it's like, you're playing a game where it's like, and you're actually, the last of humanity, and Terminators are coming after you, like proper board game AI where they're killing you.
Yeah.
Oh. God, now I'm trying to think of another one that's like would be just as good as Bond or whatnot to like reverse that role.
I really wish the Terminator... There was a Terminator Miniatures game that came out when Genesis was being released. And from what I understand, the game itself was phenomenal, but because the movie didn't do very well, nobody bought it.
Yeah.
It's a real shame, because I really would love to play it. That was actually a miniatures war game, though.
I think we could safely say Bruce has come up with the best idea of the century of...
Does that make two in a row, then? Because I'm pretty sure that's what you said last time with my He-Man idea.
Well, no, He-Man would just be a great idea. Like, I would be so happy.
It was a great idea. Twice.
Yeah. But, like, it's Hasbro, right? Let's say CMON, let's say CMON's got the, the license. Is it Mattel? Okay, but let's say CMON's, but let's say CMON's sitting on the licensing, and they do a proper release of a, the way they did He-Man, but they do a G.I. Joe, or they do, but, like a James Bond game, an episode based off of every book, and you're the bad guys, and James Bond's trying to kill you.
Yep. And you wouldn't have to do the globe thing. You could have like you're setting it in Spectre, and it's the big underground lair or wherever the bad guy is in whatever the movie is, and that way the map changes every game. The villains can change every game, and you can center it around what happens in the movie or the book for that matter. You can have little hidden things.
So good. So good.
Do you have any more ideas? I still have
because
one.
that's what is it? Let's hear it.
Stargate, and I would want an actual war game. Skirmish war game. Could you go big? Yes, but I think it's less interesting if you do. And I mean Stargate SG-1.
Well, no, you could say Stargate, and that's acceptable too, because you could bring in...
true.
Well, okay, start with SG-1, right? And you have, your SG-1, SG-2, SG-3, like a handful of different SG teams.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple Russian ones, there's a couple that were Marines,
Mm-hmm.
Like as great as O'Neill was and everything, it's still like really, the Air Force doesn't have badass colonels like you. That's the other.
He won awards for how well he portrayed the Air Force, though.
Oh no, it went beyond that. He was given the honorary rank of Brigadier General for his portrayal.
Mm.
So no, yeah, he definitely received some recognition for that. But yeah, but then you can have Goa'uld Ulds, you could have Asgard, you could have the Nox. Well, no, you really want to have the Nox or if you have the
Nox,
Asgard,
the Nox wouldn't work. You could very easily have the replicators, though.
You'd have the replicators. What are the Goa'uld Ulds that aren't that don't take over?
Jafar.
No, those are the minions that have.
The Tok'ra.
The Tok'ra, yeah, you could have the Tok'ra. The reason why I said bring in the other ones like Atlantis, that you bring in the Wraith.
Yeah.
And then the human faction that Chief O'Brien was in Atlantis, where like they had some, you bring that as a fact. Yeah, you could do a lot with that, and
it's also another one of these games where, it's like every game you're like, yeah, but I own SG and you own an SG team. We can't fight against each other. What? You've never heard of training before? It just works.
And then different god factions, amongst the Goa'uld, with Anubis and Ra. God, there's so many I can't remember now that are just Apophis. That was another one.
Yeah, Apophis might be a little OP, but yeah.
Apophis is nothing compared to Anubis because he was partially ascended.
Oh, sorry, no, it's Anubis. I'm thinking of. Sorry, yeah.
But then there's a couple of what's the word? The treaties they were trying to establish where some of the Goa'uld were Japanese gods, and there was the it wasn't a North, but he had like that. What I can't remember, but there was like the Egyptian, the Japanese, and there was like the third Goa'uld god that was not the.
It was
Egyptian.
Kronos, which is Greek.
Yeah, Kronos. Yeah, that's what it's Kronos. That's what it was. Yeah, so there's so much you could do there, and yeah,
they
totally
had
like
that was actually based on a real person. That's actually a historical. He was never a god. He was an emperor.
Well, if you look at Japanese lore, though, their emperors were gods. Living. Living
but
gods,
I just found it interesting. I'm a Stargate person.
But that is a really cool idea.
It's a game that's kind of like it's a franchise that it's lost its steam a long time ago because it's been off TV for a long time ago. But that makes the rights cheaper, right?
In theory.
Amazon owns it. They sell everything else. Come on, somebody give it a go.
Come on, Bezos. But you could have fight over a gate, or you come out of the gate and you have to go do this and make it back to the gate, or
there's enough people that sell miniature representations of the gate where your terrain would not be a problem. It's like the TARDIS. It's one of those things that almost everybody has made at this point.
Yeah. As cool an idea as that sounds, and like because it's like you get your like your little starter pack of like the game, and then like your little faction boxes. I still like the idea of playing the James Bond villains.
Oh no, I'm with you 100%. Like that idea came out of nowhere, and it's the best idea I've had.
That's seriously one of the best, because you always play as the good guy in a game. You always play as the good guys. Like, never has been like I want to play Dr. No now, and I want to stop James Bond from stopping me.
Yeah. Also, realistically, it's an idea that would work generically as well. Because, look, I want to make a board game, and you know what? I can't afford the 00 license. But I can make a generic spy game where you're playing as the bad guys trying to stop the super spy.
I just realized something so cool. If you do that, right? GoldenEye, right?
Yeah.
You could have Sean Bean live and win.
Yes. The problem is that's against the law. Sean Bean's not allowed to survive a movie. I mean, he does survive movies sometimes.
No, he didn't win in National Treasure because that was Disney. So
true. Yeah, true.
So,
oh, that's a fun idea. I'm really glad I had that inspiration.
No, that is a super fun. That is so super good.
James Bond is a franchise. Like I said, like there's been. It's one of those franchises where I didn't even need to look it up. I know there's been board games for it. It's a franchise big enough that it has to have happened.
Yeah.
I don't know any of them that's ever been. Because every so often you'll have a board game for a franchise that just sticks and becomes that one that you remember. And I've never heard that with James Bond. Like the Doom one I mentioned previously was really good. It did seem to kind of drop off the face of the earth at some point, though. But like most franchises are things that get board games semi-frequently these days. It used to happen all the time, but they were also generic that they all were the same. The most, you get Monopoly for everything these days, and that's kind of where it begins and ends now. Not that I necessarily love the whole let's make everything for a franchise all the time, but it'd be nice to have a little bit of just a little something.
Tournaments, demos, conventions, that kind of stuff.
Victorious 25 is coming up on the 16th of this month. Takes place at the Box Hill Town Hall. Starts at 10 a.m, finishes at 4. Mischief and Maha is a Moonstone tournament happening at the Bristol Independent Gaming on the 20th till the 21st of September. £17 entry, $9.45 start. And PAX Australia is coming. I will officially be there. I have bought a ticket for Saturday. Unfortunately, I can't go on Friday because I can't get out of work. I was going to book the day, and the day that I went to book it, my colleague has already done it, and he's going overseas, so I don't have a choice in the matter. Well, no, I don't. I do have a choice. I could have been that guy and was like, no, I want that day. But I won't be that guy because there's it's
just call him Dad.
Look, it's thankfully I hadn't bought my tickets yet, so I mean bonus on that. I mean I did miss out on the 3-day pass, and I'm really glad that if I had bought the 3-day pass already, I probably would have fought for it. Because he also booked his overseas trip before seeing if anybody else had leave, so I as the person that gives up that all the time, he very rarely takes leave outside of times where it's because he just doesn't, which is why I always try to be the one that gives it if he ever does, because he never asks. He always takes it during school holidays and stuff to look after the kids. So when it came to things like Easter, I was like, okay, no, fine, you can have it, even though at that point I was desperate for time off. And this time it's like, it's fine. I can still go on Saturday and Sunday. It's fine. Well, Saturday at this point. I haven't bought a ticket for Sunday. I'm kind of in two minds about it. I might just do Saturday, I think. Friday is actually my favourite day of PAX because you don't have quite as many people. If you have an event that you would like us to talk about, feel free to reach out. I do try to find out the events, but I didn't have as much time to look around this time. George, why don't you talk about our lovely sponsor?
Our sponsor, Valhalla Hobby at valhallahobby.com, located in Verona, Wisconsin, where if you use the code TABLE to get 5% off any order over $100, that store, they are a great store. They have anything and everything under the sun. They have Malifaux. Right, they have Malifaux? Do they have Malifaux?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they've got Malifaux. I don't know about the other side, but I'm pretty sure they have Malifaux.
Yeah, they've got Bushido. They've got this game that Sox likes to play. That we got for him. What was it called? Oh yeah, Dystopian Wars.
If it's about socks, I'm sure it doesn't matter.
Yeah. They carry a lot of the other stuff. They carry the supplies, paints, all sorts of things. And like I said, if you do use the code TABLED, you get 5% off one order over $100. And they ship quick. And their prices are more than reasonable.
And just for the record, yes, they have Malifaux. All of their 4th edition stuff is up too.
Yeah. You have no idea how I haven't had the chance to look down and like watch a video, but I'm trying to watch, like how to play the game to like, do I want to get a few of these and try to like, get a community going since it's a skirmish size, game. But yeah, Verona, Wisconsin, because of their support, we're able to do a couple of things a little sooner than we would. We'd be able to do them right now, but they helped us out. We were able to do those things sooner because they like what we do, and we love it when we get the support. So go check them out, support them. Buy things from them. Melt your credit card.
Yep. Thank you to those that support us. We greatly appreciate you. Thank you, of course, to the Patreon community that supports us as well. For $2
Our
a
tablers.
month. Our tablers, yes. We've got to use the thing. For $2 a month, you can support us and what we do. If you appreciate what we do, please consider supporting us. Gives you early access to all of the video content that we do. It also means that you get access to the Tablers chat on our Discord, as well as the Entropy City chat as well. It's the first place that you'll see any of our conversations in regards to that matter, or my conversations in the case of Entropy City. Yeah, please consider it. We'd appreciate it. Also means that you can listen to us record live if you wish. We record on Discord every second week. And thank you very much to those that support us. Patreon.com/gettingtabled.
And we do acknowledge you. If you talk in the chat, we acknowledge your presence in the recording too.
Yeah, people don't listen all the time, but when they do, we always appreciate it. They get to hear us make a mistake, and it means that we don't get to edit it out, which is what will happen sometimes.
We don't do that.
Oh, I do on the video edition. If there's an error that happens, I definitely edit it out. Depends on if one of us swears, it'll get edited out. But
oh yeah.
That's pretty rare.
In conjunction with that, all the links and stuff that we talk about show off in the episode. You can find those on the run sheet that Bruce gets posted over on GettingTable.com for that episode.
Yep.
Links to all the stuff and everything. We'll put those up on Facebook.com/GettingTabled. Over on YouTube, please give us a like and subscribe. YouTube.com/GettingTabled. That's where the video content lives. And the last I looked, let me pull it up. I have a stat page. Oh come on, we are getting really close to 900. I went and checked. I was just like, oh, we are so close. We are at 894 subscribers right now.
We're kind of like drip feeding in there.
Yeah, so we're getting close. So if you do like this, please give us a like and subscribe. Really,
we get lost in the algorithm, so anything that you can give us to help get us up would be really good.
Yeah,
like we're just not that big enough for the algorithm to help support us. So
we're getting there. We're so close. So please. Email us, gettingtabled@gmail.com. You got a tournament or an event, a question, anything you want us to talk about, email us there, and we'll definitely go over it. If it's something that we want to definitely hear from you about. Let's see. At Getting Tabled is X, Twitter, Instagram, Blusky, and Threads. We do have a subreddit of r/Getting Tabled. If you like watching Bruce and watching Bruce play with toys, you can watch him over at youtube.com/toyreel. I try to make it sound as juvenile as possible for you, Bruce. I'm sorry. I just can't resist it.
I'll do what I did last episode. Hey, look at how cool this toy is.
And then, of course, his pet project, his board game, www.entropycitygame.com.
It's not a board game; it's a war game. But yes,
sorry, war game. But yes, it's his project. It's his baby.
And if you want to join our Discord, please feel free to do so. There'll be a link in the description. I mean, I do display it on screen, but obviously I know you can't click the screen for it. Feel free to join. There are a couple of channels that's specific to Patreon, but it is welcome to everybody.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, we've got, so many, Gabe's Workshop, Malifaux, 3D printing, just general hobby and whatnot. So
Infinity went off this morning.
Well, yeah, with the releases, yeah.
By the way, thank you, JP. I meant to say thank you earlier and I forgot.
So,
do the
Bruce, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for joining me.
And until next time, where's that button at? There's that button.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For listening to Getting Tabled. Music used in this podcast was created by Eric Matyas at soundimage.org.
No, Bruce, it's time to die.